What is happening in this country can be put simply, but it is anything but simple. We are being shaken down. Every facet of life carries a cost, and we are told it is evil to work together to relieve it. No part of life is exempt. This system does not guarantee food in your belly. It does not guarantee clothes on your back. It does not guarantee a roof or health care or safety. Basics are treated as privileges. Birth is taxed. Parents are handed hospital bills for delivering a baby safely. Mothers are charged for anesthesia, for the room itself, even for skin-to-skin contact with their own newborn child. Many are denied paid leave, forced to pay a tax on the very act of raising the next generation. Death is taxed. Families pay thousands for funerals and burial plots and death certificates. Probate courts and medical bills arrive even after the law. Learning is taxed. Tuition leaves students in debt for decades. Interest becomes a lifelong tax on knowledge. Even diplomas and parking carry fees. Health is taxed. Survival itself is taxed. We pay co-pays, premiums, markups on life-saving drugs that cost pennies to produce. We pay to fill cavities and to see clearly because dental and vision care are treated as extras. And if you cannot pay, you are punished with medical debt that accrues interest like a tax on your misfortune. Poverty is taxed. The poor pay higher interest, higher fees, higher prices for basic goods. Disability is taxed too. Mobility is taxed. Tolls, fees, registrations, inspections, even transit is priced to burden those who need it most. Daily existence is taxed. Water is treated as a commodity. Menstrual products, formula, and diapers are classified as luxuries. Property taxes mean you never truly own your home. Work is taxed. And when workers seek to organize for fairness, they pay another tax in the form of union-busting tactics that strip away protection. Carve-outs are reserved for the privileged few. This system does not require integrity, fact, or decency to gain power. It does not value humanity. It is a cradle-to-grave shakedown, a partisan structure tilted toward the privileged and deciding few. Collective action is treated with suspicion unless it is invoked as defense against progressive reform. The very idea of people working together to redesign this system is threatening because it flips the framework. If people decided to tax the system rather than be taxed by it, the whole order trembled. So distractions are deployed. Divisions are curated and magnified. Culture wars keep us looking sideways instead of upward. Some exploit division for dogma, others for financial mobility. This system builds fast tracks for both. A few people see the problem clearly. They call it out, but their message is muted because our information ecosystem allows for and amplifies distorted information. Our ecosystem has never been more fragmented and never more consolidated. It is more democratic in access, but more authoritarian in platform. It offers boundless opportunity, but it was designed by people who only saw real estate to be sold, not truths to be safeguarded. When you mix bad information with fervent belief systems, some misguided, some malignant, You arrive here at what Maria Ressa calls an Armageddon moment in our information ecosystem. And climate abuse makes every cost worse. Every part of life is taxed, and people are rightly angry, but the anger is misdirected. Why can't we have housing guaranteed? Because every human being is worth housing. Why can't we have food guaranteed? Because no one can live without it. Why can't water be guaranteed? Because life depends on it. A just system would progress, include, and safeguard against anti-pluralism, consolidation, and exploitation. It would disorient tribalism. It would make greed and hate unwelcome, treat learning as a right, honor autonomy while encouraging collective agency. We need generational policy change, big, bold, structural ideas that root out the societal rot of exploitation and its ugly cousin, hate. These changes should pour a solid foundation for common renewal. Bigger than the New Deal, bigger than the Civil War amendments, bigger than the Civil Rights Amendments of the 1960s. We need policies that remake society intentionally, pluralistic, democratic, peaceful, holistic. We need policies that burst the dam of life tax oppression. Policies that understand a wealthy and productive society can guarantee the basics for all and remain wealthy and productive. Policies that value not only life, but quality of life. Policies that center justice. Life itself should not be something we must afford, and we do not have to live forever under the system we have now. We can build. We can build bridges. We can build networks. We can build relationships. We can build communities. We can build a culture of inclusion. We can build trust, one person, one household at a time. We can build across as many divides as possible to maintain a fair and just balance. We can build it all on a constitutional foundation of checks and balances. We can build institutions where collective good is protected against hoarded wealth. We can build the infrastructure for what we all aspire to: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We can build a system designed not to extract, but to sustain. A system that does not accept inequality, but reckons with and rectifies it. This is not utopian or radical or even revolutionary. It is the simple message that we can build a more egalitarian society. But we have to invest in each other, because this current situation is not working. It hasn't been working, and it won't work, at least not for us. Now, some will argue this vision is secondary to resisting fascism. I believe it is central. Resistance without imagination is survival, not renewal. We need a blueprint for what comes after the darkness. The only silver lining in the nihilistic rubble of our current state is that we have a chance to rebuild. The New Deal lifted a generation. The Fair Deal sought to carry it forward. What we need now is a true deal, one that guarantees dignity, not debt. We can build the society we have been promised in myth, but denied in practice. One where dignity is not conditional, where rights are not rationed, where the common good is the foundation and not an afterthought. We can. We have to. History is clear about what happens when people do not. When we grow numb, when division is weaponized, other actors keep building. They already are. And what they are building is not freedom. If we keep turning away, we will soon find their scaffolding complete and realize too late it is not a house. It is a cage with a subscription fee.